Our good friend Doug Ottewill from Mile High Magazine, Mile High Sports Magazine, joins us. The Mile High Empire. We got the radio, the magazine. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Come on in here, man. How's it going?
All right.
I got to follow Yosef, though.
I mean, no. Yeah, that's a tough act to follow.
And again,
can you bring anything more than
dressed guest we have? What happened?
Seriously.
This is a Groundhog Day all over again. And as bad as things were against the Raiders, where they gave that game away, they have to feel even worse about this one in Pittsburgh because they played offensively better than they have all season.
Yeah.
And for the final 30 minutes, it's like they forgot how to play football.
And I think, you know, you guys hit on it earlier in the show. I think a lot of the blame, and, you know, you hate to assign blame, but it is professional sports. It's got to go to the coaching staff. The adjustments made at halftime this week and last week.
Wait, you're saying there were adjustments?
No. They're non-existent.
Right.
Exactly. And I think, you know, when you've got a guy moving the ball like Brock, and you can't figure out how to do anything at all in this. I mean, 6 straight punts, an interception, and then 2 straight possessions with turnovers, run downs. I mean,
brutal.
That's non-existent offense, and some of that has to go to the coaching staff. Yeah, the defense gave up big plays, but you know, at the same time, they were out there the whole half. I mean, there's no possession.
Yeah,
8 for 8 in the first half. It was looking beautiful. Did you have any doubt? I mean, you knew they had to play another 30 minutes, but we were crowning them division champs.
Absolutely.
Saying, hey, you guys are into the playoffs, and we saw what happened.
Nice, healthy lead.
Yeah.
And really, Pittsburgh had not shown that they could stop that
offensively,
offense.
Yeah, exactly. They had no stops.
And the Broncos hadn't even really tried that hard to run the football, which is another issue. Are we a running team or are we a passing team? Because when they played well, they were throwing it all over the yard.
Yeah.
And when they seemed to stall out, they get back into that, oh, we're going to try to run the clock and run the ball, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah.
I think there's an identity crisis going on a little bit with this team.
Well,
Who are they? What do they want to be?
For me, I wonder, and you're right, they start the game throwing the football, and keep in mind the Steelers had the 31st ranked pass defense. Makes sense, right?
And it showed.
It's working. You got 27 points at half. It seems to me that Gary Kubiak, I don't know that it's necessarily the fact that he's conservative. I think he's stubborn. I think he's really set in his ways to say, you know what, I know how to win football games, and this is what it needs to be. As opposed to, hey, what's working? Let's stick with it. Let's exploit the weaknesses, and let's take advantage of these guys.
Their game plan coming in was phenomenal, obviously. But then it was like they literally said, okay, we got this one. Let's just hand it over to the defense. And they didn't try to do anything.
They start playing not to lose as opposed to keeping the foot on the gas.
The old coach's cliche, but it certainly applies here.
Absolutely.
I just think that, you know, they've got to realize what they're doing well, and they were doing a lot of things well. Brock Osweiler played a great first half. Per the fantasy points. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then they just, like, put him on a shelf. And he shares the blame, too. He didn't play great, made some bad decisions, flirted with the interception, only wound up with 1, 2, 3 times.
Could have been 3 or 4,
Yeah. But, you know, they just, I don't know, they take their foot off the gas. And you can't do that against a team like Pittsburgh.
And it looks like they like to make things difficult because I mean, it's basically playoffs the rest of the way for this team.
It is, absolutely. I mean, and with, they can get in a lot easier than they can get any kind of, you know, advantage with the number 2 seed, but you gotta win them both.
And you want that number 2 bye. Obviously, there's potential, if you know, with some help from New England to get the number 1 seed, but at this point, you just want to get in that group where you can have a first-round bye in the playoffs, rest up some of your guys, get healthy again, and then
play at home.
Play at home, most importantly,
especially,
in the postseason.
You know, with Trevor Siemian being your quarterback going into the playoffs, you got a hurt shoulder, you got a hurt foot. I mean, you know.
The walking wounded.
Serious.
So as we look ahead to this week, it all is going to come down to health. Brock's healthy today, we're assuming. Peyton's healthy. We're assuming he can go through 3 weeks of 3 days of practice without re-aggravating the injury. You're the head coach. Who starts on Monday night?
I go with Peyton Manning. I really do, because I think here's what I've seen with this team. They have, and this quarterback in Brock Osweiler, they have all the things that they need to do to win. They just don't do it consistently. And someone said this to me earlier today. Brock played like a player with a ton of potential in the first half. Ton of potential. But he played like a young quarterback in the second half. In the playoffs, I don't see that trend not continuing. I mean, you got to go with a guy who knows how to win in the playoffs. And yeah, people can debate whether or not Peyton Manning is clutch in the Super Bowl or whatever you want. But at the end of the day, The guy's won a lot of football games in the postseason.
Yeah.
And I think he gives you the best shot to win the Super Bowl, in which in Denver, Colorado, that's the only thing that matters.
All right,
I got the
let's
fix, man. You let Brock play the first half, they play the second.
You know,
Might-
there
that
have
might
been
not be a
worse
bad idea.
ideas. A little platooning. I like it. Yeah.
That's
So
how
let's
we
take
do
a
it.
poll here. Peyton play? You think Peyton plays?
I think he does. I think he
Okay.
should.
Okay. You think Peyton
I-
plays on Monday night?
If Peyton gets through a full week of practice, I have no doubt he'll
That's
play.
not what I asked.
All right, all right. I think he plays.
Okay. I think Brock's going to play because in the back of my head, in my mind, I'm wondering how a guy who hasn't started a game in 5 weeks is going to operate without rust. And I actually like the platoon idea where you bring him in because A.J. McCarron's going to melt under the Monday night pressure.
Yeah.
I really see.
agree with that.
I see the Bengals having problems. Broncos get a lead. You call off the dog, so to speak. You put Peyton in and you see what he's got.
What if? That is a great
I
storyline.
mean, that's
I like
a
it.
great scenario. But
I mean, you said it first. I mean, that's just got great drama written all over
Doesn't it?
End the controversy. Just share it.
I like it. I like it.
let's do it,
Brilliant.
Kubiak. Hope he's listening.